What if we could access the power to break free from the mental, psychological, and spiritual constraints we've adopted from our upbringing? That is the heart of shamanic spirit medicine, a grounded system of shamanic healing and self-empowerment work created by Scott Silverston on Kauai. Scott offers retreats in Hawaii and Peru, live and self-paced online courses, private healing sessions, and a full shamanic apprenticeship pathway. In this video, Scott will show us his practical approach to shamanism and how it helps people in their real lives, rather than just a peak experience on a retreat.
We come into the world and we become conditioned by the world around us. And we're going to make agreements about ourselves, the world, and our place within the world that reflect our caregivers, the conditions around us. Unfortunately, those agreements aren't always optimal. We all carry not only the agreements we made, but the agreements that our parents and grandparents made, or iterations of that, edits of that, as well as our societal agreements. And so with shamanic spirit medicine, we look into ourselves, we look internally, and we look at those agreements and we uproot them and we overwrite them. We make new, it's like updating the operating system for the human being.
That operating system idea is a useful way to understand the modality. Many people try to change their lives by setting new goals, using affirmations, or building new habits. These can help, but Scott's work focuses on the deeper level where patterns first began. Scott explains how shamanic journeying helps you reach what he calls spirit mind, recognizing self-limiting agreements, and start moving towards better ways of living.
We use the techniques of shamanism, and specifically shamanic journeying with the drum, to access our limbic brain, or what I call our spirit mind, and identify, uplift, and reprogram or overwrite these self-limiting agreements and move towards optimal functioning. A lot of people are healers themselves, professionals, therapists. Some are already retired from successful careers and have never embraced their spiritual side, and now they have the time and the resources and space available. Look at that in their lives.
A key difference in Scott's approach is that shamanic spirit medicine is actually designed to be drug-free. The drum serves as the doorway. Its steady rhythm helps people enter a shamanic journey state without relying on substances, ceremonies, or outside guides.
Theta state is that state that is in between sleeping and waking. It's a deeply meditative state. It's also the shamanic journey state. And theta state can be induced in a number of ways. The most effective way is through rhythmic entrainment with the drum. The other ways are through taking hallucinogens, some hallucinogens or entheogenic substances, meditation, fasting, combinations of all those, okay, and staying awake. To me, meditation is great, but we're easily distracted by outside world noises, as well as our inner world, our monkey minds. There's very, very few people who have the meditative focus to be able to lay there or sit there or stand there and go past just being in a still internal awareness to then dive into the spirit world completely. With the drum, it blocks out the distractions of the wandering mind, as well as the external distractions. It's also sustainable, meaning I'm in control. What I've experienced with a lot of people that I've worked with who have gone through the path of using ayahuasca or other substances, that substance becomes the spirit of that substance becomes the gatekeeper to their ability to access their spirit mind. So if you're like me and you have other responsibilities than in your life, then it's really easy with the drum. I can drop into a really deep state and in 15 minutes come back and go about my day.
As a tool for accessing deep meditative states, drumming offers an easy entry and exit, making it a practical discipline for daily life. In Scott's model, theta is more than just relaxation. It's a different state of consciousness where people can reach spirit mind, notice energetic patterns, and work with their inner world in a more direct, embodied way.
When we go into theta state, we access what's called the spirit mind. We're able to access the dream time. We're able to see the spirit world. So our perception is no longer through our physical eyes or physical ears. Okay, it becomes non-physical. This perception or the awareness that we can gather from this state of being is equally valid to what we see in our day-to-day life. We want to have a balance of both, because there are things that we can easily be fooled by in our day-to-day life through normal waking consciousness, that when we start to look at the energy and how the energy flows, we say, oh, things are not exactly as they appear on the surface, and we can see the truth of what's happening on a spiritual level, on an energetic level.
This balance between the logic mind and spirit mind is a recurring theme in Scott's work. Scott does not ask students to leave ordinary reality behind. He teaches them to develop another way of seeing and then bring that insight back into daily life with good judgment.
Energy body cultivation at its core level is preparing the nervous system for higher levels of spiritual work. If you are doing your own self-healing, anytime you release a trauma that's in the nervous system, you need to have a boost of energy that goes through that nervous system to release it. We're strengthening our nervous system to have this spiritual growth and to continue with spiritual healing on a deeper level without getting wiped out. Secondly, it's protection for the practitioner. How many healers that they start out in their 20s or early 30s, and by the time they're in their 40s or 50s, they're completely burnt out. Cultivating the energy body reverses that. It prevents it and it reverses it.
Deep spiritual work requires personal capacity. When someone is letting go of old trauma, moving energy, or helping others as a healer, they need strength, grounding, and time to recover. This is why energy body cultivation is foundational in his retreats and trainings. It's a daily practice for vitality, energetic boundaries, and practitioner sustainability.
I can't even count the number of hundreds of students who have gone through the cultivating the energy portion of the program and have said, wow, this has made such a huge difference in my life. Healing arts professionals in particular, I do this every morning. It takes 15 minutes once they learn it, and it's made a huge difference. People who are empathic and they pick up the energy of other people, and then they tend to identify with it and have a hard time moving it out of their system. We help people to be able to keep their own energy field clear while working with others.
For healers, empaths, therapists, retreat leaders, yoga teachers, coaches, body workers, and anyone who is supporting others, this may be one of the most valuable parts of Scott's trainings that help you stay clear, grounded, and whole while helping others. Shamanic spirit medicine's approach doesn't require you to abandon your healing modality. Instead, he teaches the work as a practice that can blend with the skills and approaches you already use.
I'm not teaching people to do sessions the way I do sessions. I'm teaching them to do sessions the way they're doing their sessions. And so for a holistic practitioner who wants to add this, it's going to look differently for each person, right? Some people have a number of students who are therapists, and they come from a talk therapy background. Well, of course, one of their strengths is going to be talking to their clients. So they can use that as the entry point. People who are working on physical touch or energy healing, there's this part of extraction and soul retrieval and how they work together, and how you do that safely as a practitioner to maintain your longevity and vitality is really important.
This is also relevant for retreat leaders. Many retreat facilitators already use modalities like meditation, yoga, sound healing, coaching, bodywork, or ceremony. But it's not only for healing practitioners. Scott also works with professionals from business, law, education, finance, trades, and other fields. You may have a deep spiritual side, but have never had a grounded way to explore it.
My students range the full gamut, from healers to people who are bankers and attorneys and tradespeople and hairstylists, and you name it. I'm going to meet you where you're at, and I'm going to speak to both your spirit mind and your logic mind so that you can have a cognitive understanding of what you're doing.
This is part of what makes shamanic spirit medicine accessible. It speaks to people who want spiritual depth, but who also want clarity, structure, ethics, and plain language.
There's nothing wrong with maintaining your day job as an accountant, for example, and doing healing sessions on the weekend. And here they are, there's this whole world that none of their colleagues know about at all.
Scott's 10-day Kauai retreat is a mix of cultivating the energy body and fundamentals of shamanism. This gives you both a personal healing experience and a clear, grounded practice you can continue after you return home.
So Kauai is a wonderful place. It's very much alive, a really wonderful place for healing. There are just times where you walk out and even for 10 minutes from your car, lay down and on the sand or in somewhere in nature, and then you walk back an hour later and you're just rejuvenated. And that's without even doing any work. Okay, that's just laying there. Okay, when you combine that with the shamanic spirit medicine work, cultivating the energy body, those types of practices, it's a magical place. I have a workshop space that I lead the retreats from. It's in the permaculture, small little organic food forest in a neighborhood. It's a really great place to just come and heal. We also do some nature day outings during the retreat or separate from the retreat.
In this work, the environment is more than just a backdrop. Kauai's slower pace, ocean, forests, and natural quiet all become part of the retreat experience. Many retreats promise transformation, but what stands out about Scott's retreats is that students leave with practical tools. You don't just have an experience and go home empty-handed.
Come home first with cultivating the energy body practice that you can use every day. That is going to enhance your day-to-day life, your longevity, your vitality, your wellness, 15 minutes a day. Okay, that's the first 3 days of the retreat. In the second week of the retreat, you're going to come home with a functional shamanic journey practice that you can do on your own with a drum for self-healing. You're going to have a connection to your spirit animal, your power animals, your upper world guides, and a benevolent, wise ancestor from your blood lineage. So a lot of shamanism traditionally is done through our ancestry, but we're cut off from our ancestry, at least our shamanic ancestry, for many, many generations. You're going to come home with that practice, and you're going to come home with the ability to journey to the upper and lower worlds on your own. You're going to come home with a real sense of healing, a real sense of personal growth and personal empowerment. That having the faith that within myself, I can do these things that I was often looking to outside for.
The central promise of this work is to be free of dependence on others for healing and empowerment. It's about having your own practice and capacity to heal. To learn more about shamanic spirit medicine, go to retreatfinder.com and search shamanic spirit medicine, or click the link in the description to send an inquiry. Someone from Shamanic Spirit Medicine will follow up to answer your questions and help you find the right next step for you. At Retreat Finder, we spotlight unique retreats from around the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more retreat stories and teacher interviews. And when it's time to return to you, find your next retreat on retreatfinder.com.